something to say, but welcome again, everybody here. Welcome to you, live stream audience. Glad you're all here today. I'm impressed that you're here because this happens to be one of the most beautiful September days we've had. So thank you for coming and giving us your time. And thank you all for being here. And why don't you show us what you got? Oh, microphones are important.
Yes, there we go. Now we can show you what we got. Hey, if you all want to stand up if you're able, and we'll sing into this date. That's what we got. See you later. Have a great day, everybody. 1, 2, ready, go. Swing open my heart. Give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up. Get right back to the start. This is how I was made. Free from the worry and free from the fear. I know spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here, singing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Swing open my heart. Give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up. Get right back to the start. This is how I was made. Free from the worry and free from the fear. I know spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here, singing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. Singing, don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's sing, don't worry. Sing it, don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. Sing every little thing, yeah, every little thing is gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. One more time, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, yeah. We got all the extra this morning. Oh, so nice to see your joyful faces. Will you take a minute to greet some of those neighbors out there this morning? Apparently we got to move some energy. Yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Well, good morning. This is fun. My name is Cynthia Clay, and I'm the practitioner of the day today, along with Andrea Wood. Yay. So let us just breathe in together the joy, the laughter, the play. Whew, we are welcome, and so is delight this morning. Ooh, and so I am grateful to know that each one of us is here to sing, to play, to hear whatever needs to be heard this morning for our healing and growth and love. And so I just say yes, yes to welcoming in this spirit of love and play. So I call it good. And I say thank you. And so it is.
So Cynthia is one of our new practitioners. She and her husband Leo are not new to being prayer partners at all, but they moved up here a few years ago from Seattle and are joining us now, so I'm excited. If we have some children, I know I saw Ellie right there, and I see some teachers back there. Come on up. And there's Eliza. And anyone else who is here who would like to join us, we're grateful to have you up here. And we have a song that we love singing. Our program is largely outdoors. Even though we're moving into fall, we'll be taking the kids out into the incredible forest. Yeah, Eliza once wanted to be a kid. If you know Wanda, that's pretty right. So why don't we have our kids' song?
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race. You all have a good time in your class today. Well, we are going to move into some musical meditation together. We have a couple songs to share with you today. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me now and evermore. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 this love. secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
Thank you all. So today, the topic under our monthly heading of Living in Balance is your center of gravity. And the quote that I found is anonymous, but I was going through different websites looking for quotes about living in balance, and this one came up. Imagine finding your center of gravity and staying there. You know, and it just caught me because I work with a lot of people, and I've certainly had experiences in my own life where we get knocked off balance, sometimes in huge ways. You know, like things happen that are just so either unexpected or so difficult that we find ourselves kind of lost. And when I was a therapist, I would talk about it like this. I would say, well, you've just experienced a train wreck, and you survived. That's the good news. But you're wandering around the train wreck right now, trying to figure out what the heck happened, and looking for, you know, pieces of your life that might have survived, and not finding a lot of them. And so it's a very disconcerting and disorienting experience. And of course, eventually what will happen to anyone in that situation, whether it's the death of a beloved one or the loss of something, what happens is we don't stop grieving, but we are able to move forward and walk away from the wreck. And as we walk away from the wreck, discover a new reality. And so I wanted to talk about that place where we've walked away, while acknowledging that some of you are in the train wreck, and I know that place, been there myself. But I wanted to talk about when we walk away from it, because it's such a critical spiritual point of finding balance again, finding your center of gravity when everything changed. And you know, as I'm a little loopy because of this Portugal trip coming up, and so I'm not sleeping very much. And so I was sitting thinking about this talk, and the image that came to my mind was something from my young childhood. And some of you may have had this, but my parents thought it was probably a good idea. I really do not know why. Perhaps because I had a brother that annoyed me. I don't know. But they got me one of those Bozo Bop dolls, and they were taller than me at that point, and you hit them and they fell down and then they came right back up. They had a center of gravity. So boop, they'd go down and come back up. And then right around that time, Hasbro invented these Weeble dolls. Same thing, only they were small, and you'd try to knock them over and they'd pop right back up because they had a weight in the bottom of them. They're now hundreds of dollars in antique stores. Darn it. So, you know, that image of bozo falling down and coming back up came to me, and I was thinking, well, what do I talk about? And what I talk about is what happened to me when I started to walk out of my train wreck. And so hopefully this will be helpful to you. When I think about people that I deeply admire on the spiritual path, either from history or now, I think about people who have found their center of gravity. And so let me define that for you in my terms. I have no idea what anybody else thinks, but for me, I think a lot of times in our culture we make a mistake about where we think our center of gravity is. You know, I think a lot of us were trained that, you know, if we had enough money, and if we had a good job, and if we had a partner we liked, and kids that were good enough, that you know, we win. And none of those things helped me during my train wreck. None of them. Well, okay, money helped me pay for a therapist. But you know what I'm saying? The pursuit of success, the pursuit of prosperity, the pursuit of love, the pursuit of anything in our culture sometimes misses the mark, in my opinion. And this is totally me, right? Having lived a spiritual life for a long time. Instead, the center of gravity that I have been finding in myself and I admire so much in others is the place where we really realize that there is at our core a true self, that no matter what happens, there is this core of who we truly are that is unchanged and absolutely present. And all the rest of it is just window dressing for the true self. And of course, the challenge that draws us to the spiritual path is to figure out, well, what is that? Who is that? Who am I? Really is one of the largest questions on the spiritual path. And so in the train wreck situation I was in, I had done a lot of that exploration, and it had some really incredible, wonderful experiences, which were very helpful. And along the way, of course, I heard stories. And so these are the stories that I heard, either before the train wreck, during the train wreck, or after. One of them was from the Dalai Lama. As you know, he had to flee Tibet. And in doing so, he also had to leave many people, many of his monks and nuns behind. And those monks and nuns suffered horrendously under the Chinese occupation, and often were imprisoned and tortured. Their books were burned, their monasteries destroyed. And so this one monk named Lipan La was imprisoned. He was a friend of the Dalai Lama's, and he was imprisoned shortly after His Holiness left. And he was in prison for 18 years. And finally I don't even know how he made it out of the prison or how he crossed the Himalayas into India, but he made it into India and found his way to Dharamsala, the monastery there in India. And whenever a monk or nun would find their way into India, the Dalai Lama's practice is to have a private interview with them. And so Dalai Lama met Lopan La, and they were talking, and he said, so he heard the story of the torture and the thises and that's of the imprisonment, and he said, was there ever a time when you were afraid? And Lopan La said, yes, there was one time when I was deeply fearful. And Dalai Lama said, well, what were you afraid of? And he said, I was afraid I would lose compassion for my captors. Take that in. And for me, that is true self. That is like someone who knows who they are at such a deep level that no matter what's happening in the outward world, that's what they were afraid of losing, was their true self. And the same, of course, you've heard the famous story about Nelson Mandela walking out of prison after 27 years. And he said, I wrote it down because I can never quite remember it. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. And we saw what he did after that, because he was that clear. And you'll notice, there's no denying torture, and there's no denying bitterness and hatred. There's none of that in these two stories. It's more that there was something larger that held them in a place where they realized that outer experience could take away something that was so valuable that they weren't willing to let even the hatred and the bitterness that would be totally understandable take over, right? And so, those two stories. And then, I was so pleased that Amber chose So Secret, So Sacred as a song today. And I don't know if you know the backstory of that song, but it was written by two women, but in particular, Etika. And Etika and her partner were students of Rumi. And so that song actually comes out of a Rumi poem. And Etika was diagnosed with uterine cancer. And she fought it, and she seemed to be healed. And then at a conference I went to a few years ago, it had come back. And what's beautiful about that song is that she, with her last breaths, asked for her guitar and played that song and died. And again, it's like, okay, you're dying, and what do and you're dying, train wreck of all train wrecks for many of us, and you dedicate yourself once again to the teaching that has held you. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of, our own center of gravity is that place. And the reason I'm telling stories about it is I don't know yours. But I know you have within you this incredible, amazing, grounded spirit. It is yours alone. It is very unique. You have fought the good fight often and often to retain your own true nature in the face of society saying you shouldn't be like that, or you shouldn't, And so there's probably more than glimpses for many of you of what that would be for you. And it is this that we train for, is to know what it is, and more to seek to live from that place. And it is not always easy. The other story I came across this morning, bright and early, was again the story of Malala. And Malala, of course you remember, was 16, Pakistani, Muslim girl who was fighting for education for girls. And the Taliban issued a death threat. And a masked gunman climbed onto her school bus and shot her in the face. And she survived after numerous surgeries. She was airlifted to a military base and then to England, and numerous surgeries. And, you would think that might give her pause. Here we go. Let's turn that one on. Yes? Yes. Okay, so Malala said, the terrorists thought they would change our aims and stop our ambitions, but nothing changed in my life except this: weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage were born. And she went on to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. Yeah, amazing story. We don't have to be a Nobel Peace Prize winner to live from that place she's pointing to. And to get there, either we have a grand passion like she did, or we are so connected with what's true for us that no matter what, we have to live from that place. And thank God for that. For me, that means that often I'm called to do things that I literally kind of go, you want me to what? Really? You want me to move to Bellingham? Okay. So you'll have that. You'll have moments like Mother Teresa, who was on a train in 1947, and she had cultivated in her true nature the understanding that she was married to Jesus, literally his bride. And so whenever she had a visitation from that being, whatever that being said, she tried to do. So on that train, Jesus said, I want you to serve the poorest of the poor. And showed her a vision of what that would look like in Calcutta. If you've ever been to Calcutta, oh, wow. And that's what she did. She was like, oh, wow. I think she was 29. And it took her almost a year to convince the archbishop that she reports to as a nun that these are legitimate asks from deity and that, she would really appreciate it if he would go along with this and let her go do that. She never got to the point, but she came really close, apparently, in her diaries, to saying, and if you don't, I'm leaving anyway and doing it. So finally, he said, okay, all right, fine. And she started the Sisters of Charity, which is now a worldwide organization that helps the poorest of the poor. So it's not always easy, and for some of you, I know it hasn't been. And I know for some of you, it's not right now. But what I can tell you from my own journey and from all the incredible stories is when we find our center of gravity, the place where Spirit resides in us and is expressing through us as our very unique, truest self, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. It may feel horrible, but the true nature will carry us forward no matter what. Last story, and then we'll close. There was a man, I can't remember his name right now, and he was in the French resistance during World War II, and he was Jewish, and he got captured. And so he went to a concentration camp. And every day, a truck would come and load up a whole bunch of men to take them to the ovens. And so every day, no one knew if today was going to be the day. And so the day came for his barracks, and they loaded all the men up. And there was absolute silence because they were loaded into the back of a truck, and no one spoke a word. The guards weren't talking, nothing. So they offloaded the men, and they were standing there. And all of a sudden, this guy, who was an artist before he went into the resistance movement, he was an artist. And so all of a sudden, he like spins around, and he grabs this other guy's hand, and he says, "Show me your palm." And the man is completely baffled, but he holds his hand up. "Look at this. You're going to have this long life and this tremendous success. And wait. The most beautiful bride. Lucky you." And he slaps him on the back and, "Show me your hand." And he The next guy holds out his hand. Now everybody's like riveted, like, what's going on? This is not what was going to happen. And so he's reading this next guy. Look at you. You are going to have a long life too, and this is what's going to happen for you. And pretty soon, all the men in the line are holding their hands out, you know, and people are laughing and slapping each other on the back, and the guards are standing over there kind of like stunned. And after he's gone through all of the hands and they turn to the guards basically load them back up onto the truck and take them back to the barracks. So when we follow our true nature, one of the tricks of the trade in doing that is to really let yourself be yourself. And maybe it's in the face of death, taking control and doing something wild and crazy. Maybe it's on your deathbed picking up a guitar and singing a line from Rumi. Maybe it's listening to the voice that said to you over and over, darling, it's time to change. I don't know what it is, but I know we'll all have those moments. They don't stop. So let me do a prayer so that all of our true selves have the opportunity to show up. That's what this place is about, showing up like that. So join me in this prayer. Know with me, in and through all reality, every reality of every nature, in and through your reality and my reality, lies a presence and a power that absolutely has no limit. It longs to express itself by means of each of us. It has gifted itself entirely into our being, not creating us and then leaving, but on board, the silent pilot behind all that we are. This presence, whatever you want to call it, is knowing beyond knowing, the wisdom of all wisdoms, the love of all love. And it is always and ever seeking to be made more manifest uniquely by means of you and me. And so I say yes to that, and I invite you in your own mind and heart to say yes, to allow full room for this divine wisdom and love to express uniquely, powerfully, beautifully, in and through you and me. I follow it. I listen to it. And this becomes my center of gravity, the place where I am most stable, even in the face of difficulties, even in the face of the unknown. And as I train in learning where my center of gravity is and staying there more and more, not only am I giving rise to a life of great beauty and great unique expression, but I am safe no matter what, courageous no matter what, love in action no matter what. And for that, I am so grateful, and so it is. Thank you. All right, our patient ushers who, you may not know this, but they hold up flashcards to tell me how much time I have, and my time was up a while back. So I'm going to ask them to prepare for the offertory and come on forward. And I'm going to thank you all for your presence here today, any offering of financial good that you can offer, and for just being the love that you are.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. For love. this love. Thank you for this love, Spirit. Thank you for this love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace. This healing, this healing, this healing peace. This healing, this healing, this healing peace. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing along. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. One more time. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Hey, Amber, you have a ukulele class that you're going to be teaching. You want to talk about it?
I do. So I will be teaching a beginning ukulele class for anyone interested. We'll be meeting here in the sanctuary on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. beginning the 27th. So that's not this week, but next Tuesday. You can sign up at the Ask Me desk or also send me a direct email, which is in the announcements and all that. But if you're interested, come see me or check out the Ask Me desk. Yeah.
Kathy, you're starting the choir.
Hi, I have the choir coming back after 2.5 years. Yay! So we're getting prepared for the solstice, which is December 21. That's a Wednesday. But we're going to be singing other songs too. So we are starting October 3rd, right here on Monday at 6:30 every Monday. So yeah, be here. You don't have to be able to read music. Just come and desire to be singing.
Thank you. And Cheryl, this is Cheryl Hodge. I told you about her last week.
Thank you, Andrea. Wow. Okay, I'm so excited because the dementia sing-along therapy program is still going after COVID, and but we are pretty much broke. So part of that is because some of the memory care units have shut down a lot, and it's been hard to keep going. But we're still going. We need some help. And part of that is going to go towards an educational tour across the country. That's the goal, and that's going to be in April. So in order to raise funds, we're having a potluck here, and it's also a dance featuring the Steely Dan cover band and bands of the 80s, the Police, the Pretenders, people you love, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Boss Gags. Anyway, it's a killer band. It's a really great band. And it's also a silent auction, and that happens this coming Friday from 6 to 9. So in the past, we've had a blast. Everybody just dances, and we're just having a great time. And there's some beautiful prizes that are being auctioned off. Just incredible things. Theater passes, recording sessions. You're going to love it. You got to come Friday, 6 o'clock. I need 2 or 3 helpers. If you can get in touch with me, we're going to get together here at 3 to prepare everything. And if you happen to have something that you want to donate to the silent auction, please get in touch with me. So hoping today to get some volunteers and looking forward to Friday night.
Such an interesting thing that folks with dementia may not be able to remember certain things, but song wakes their brain up, and they can sing the songs, and often it'll restore some of their cognition. So really cool nonprofit that Cheryl's part of. Today is the first women's group of the season, and we are going to be in our classroom, And we have a wonderful Living in Balance afternoon planned for you from noon to 1:30. So feel free to join us if you would like. And let's see what else. Anything else? I wanted to remind you that the folks that are on the sound team today are actually part of our teen group. And Kat there on our StreamYard is the teen advisor for our group. Our group meets virtually with other teens from all over the Centers for Spiritual Living land. And it's from noon to 1 on Sundays, and then they have other times of the week where they meet doing all kinds of other fun stuff. If you have questions about that after the service, please see Kat or my sound guy, Jason, who also is part of the teen group as well. Kathy Angel, many of you know her, is going to be bringing a book study to us starting October 3rd, and it's on 5 Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8, and it's based on a book called Saving Us by Catherine Hayhoe. And if you haven't discovered Catherine's work, she is one of the premier climate scientists in the world. She's Canadian. And this particular book is beautiful because it helps us acknowledge the eco-grief we might be feeling and also has a lot of solutions, simple solutions that we all can do. So think about, if Monday nights work for you, coming to that wonderful Zoom book study. I think that's enough for now, except that I want to thank, I don't think they're here today because it was a long day for us, but we had the last of our Gourmets for Good dinners yesterday, and it wasn't a dinner, it was an extravaganza called Strudelfest. And I was telling my practitioners, I feel fat. Because, I mean, we made strudel from 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon and ate it all. So thank you to Jen and Jenny, and to those of you who bid for a place at any of the tables that we had during our season. If you're new with us, this is the one big fundraiser we do every year. People make different creative dinners or things, and then we all bid for a place at the table, and it raises money for the center. It's been a great season, and my belly's glad it's over. All right, well, let's have one last song, you guys, and we'll sing our way out of here.
Y'all can stand if you'd like. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open by spirit and by grace. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open by spirit and by grace. We are the power of love. 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 Thanks everyone for being here today, and we'll see you again soon. Have a lovely day.